Okay, good. All right. Hi, good morning. Hi, Chen, George, Ruti. I hope you had a nice weekend. The weather is very nice, although it's overcast in Alhambra, but I think it's going to burn out pretty soon, and you're going to have a beautiful day. It is a great day to do the door knocking, but be prepare. When it's too hot, you have to have a bottle of water with you. Otherwise, you might get dehydrated. So just to mention it to you, so you can better prepare for it. But anyway, we have a little bit glitch today. Michelle is on the other end of the training room and trying to fix the problem. But nevertheless, we'll start the meeting for the time being, and hopefully she'll be able to rectify the problem later. Okay, as you know, that John Wax will be our keynote speaker today, and he's going to talk about the NHD and related topics. And as you know, that he's going to have lunch and learn on Wednesday too. So, but he will give us a little bit of introduction today. After we introduce the other affiliates. Okay. So let's begin with Nicole. Good morning, Nicole.
Good morning, Hi-10. How are you all doing? Happy Monday. I'm back from vacation, ready to serve you. Please call me with any of your title needs. You can call, text, or email. We have some exciting new things that are going to be rolling out through our In Here product that you will be able to access. And I will share more as we begin to roll this out. Look forward to working with all of you. Please call me if you need assistance with your farming needs. It is a great time, as Peter said, to get out, door knock, cold call. Prospecting is key. We're in the month of July. This is the hottest time for sellers to list their property. So we're here to help. Look forward to being a part of your team and success. Please keep me in mind for your next title order. Thank you so much, and thank you for the opportunity to be here with all of you, Peter.
Thank
And
you.
Michelle.
Thank you, Nicole. Welcome back from vacation. You look
Thank you.
like
You look
rejuvenated and refreshed, so that's very good.
I was off the grid for a week, so yes.
Yeah,
Nice.
that's good. That's good. Yeah, good. Thank you.
Thank you.
All
And I'm
right.
sorry, but I'm gonna have to leave
Okay.
early, so I'm
Sure,
sorry.
no problem, no problem. Okay,
Thank
yeah.
you.
And Michelle, do we have anybody, any affiliates in the training room?
Just a second. No, Pete, we don't.
You don't? Okay. So are you doing okay now in the training room as far as the computer
Yeah.
is concerned?
Just a second, Ben.
Okay.
We're okay. We're let me just finish with him, but I can hear you and see you.
Okay, good. And then you'll be able to do the listing as well as the sales too, right?
Correct.
From your end? From your end later on?
Yes.
Okay, very good. Okay, I think that's only affiliate today because Nancy cannot make it and Mark cannot make it. Looks like everybody is busy this Monday. So okay, then let's go with the affiliate highlights today. John, as I said, John Wax will be our affiliate highlight. Go ahead, John. Everybody knows you. So
Thank you, Peter. Thank you.
Yeah.
Good morning, everyone. John Wax with SNAP NHD, Natural Hazard Disclosure Report, serving your office for almost 30 years now. I'm looking forward to doing, I'm going to be brief because I have a training class on Wednesday, which I hope you guys can attend. I am your consultant. If you have questions regarding anything in the report, please contact me, especially the confusing FHDS card form, which the added 12 new questions on retrofits. So that's the newest thing. We're going to go over that in detail and talk about them specifically. The other thing is we're going to go over some of the changes in the fire zones that were before and after. I think I did that before. We're going to try to do that again. The other thing that we're going to talk about is we're going to get into detail of when we need to use the form and do we have to use it on every single transaction. Also, do we have to when's the best time to get this report, and how do I protect my clients the earliest I can do that? And that's another thing that we'll cover. But I'll be there to answer any questions you guys may have. Remember, we have a lot of tools, and I'm going to try to show you those too. We have a property tax estimator, which is free. Once you register on our website, you just put the property address in the screen, push start, and on the right-hand side, within seconds, you'll get in-out determinations like you see on the NHC statement page for fire, flood, earthquake, fault, seismic hazard, and it's free. If you're working buyers, it's a great tool. If you're working sellers, it's a great tool. Just before you order, you'll have an idea of what's going on with that property ahead of time. It is required for leases. There's a flood zone only report that we provide at no cost to you. All the other companies charge, we do not charge for it. And it's done by our professionals, and it's an in-out determination on the 2 flood zones, special flood and dam inundation zone. And then lastly, we do have a free property tax estimator, because a lot of times your buyers want to know, hey, what is my obligation going to be in regards to after we close this deal? And the thing is there is a difference, because you can get that information, but they may not receive notice for it for 6 to 9 months after close of escrow. Plus, that's the prorated amount that they own, the buyer owes, because the seller's already paid his through escrow. They're going to have to pay that amount. They'll say, well, why do I have to pay that? I have impounds, because impounds are for future taxes. This is the prorated taxes that you owe after close of escrow. And so those are some of the things. My biggest tip to you, don't be secret agent. I'm a little secret agent today, but wear badges when you guys are out there walking around, door knocking in the stores, picking up the kids, taking them to sporting events and things like that. It's a great way for people to come up to you, feel comfortable. If they don't know you, say your name, and then, hey, how's the real estate market? I mean, it's a great intro, and you're advertising yourself for nothing, but at least you're giving them an inclination of, hey, this is what I can do for you. And it's a great time to have a conversation about that. And that's basically all I have to say, because we're going to do a detailed training on Wednesday at 1. I'm very excited about that. Back to you, Peter. Thank you, Peter and Michelle, and thank you for allowing me to be here.
Thank you, John. John, you mentioned that there's some report that are required for leases too. Which one is that?
It's called the lease report or renter's report. It's required on residential properties.
Okay.
Although we do have commercial agents using it as well.
Yeah.
Because it's required by law for the landlord to tell the tenant if the property is affected by flood zone, and that's the best way to do it, because it's insured information.
The flood zone and the high fire hazard area?
No, not yet. That may be coming, but not yet.
Just the flood.
Special flood and dam inundation.
Okay, that's
those two areas.
Okay, great. That's a nice information to know.
You're welcome.
Okay, very good. I'm looking forward to the Wednesday lunch learn, John.
I am too.
Thank you very much. Okay, do you have any question for John so far? No? Okay. Well, before we go to the company business, I have a few announcements to make. Well, there will be no lunch and learn this Wednesday. Well, we have a lunch and learn this Wednesday. I'm sorry. I just mentioned that. I read the wrong.
Let's not
there
do
will
that.
Be lunch and learn this Wednesday was John on the the fire issues, and also we will also have one lunch and learn next week. Usually we have only 2 lunch and learn per month, but this month we have 3. So it's a bonus for us. Anyway, next week we'll have a 1031 exchange. We'll deep dive into the Delaware statutory trust, which is some kind of advanced trust. If you don't do the regular 1031 exchange, it's a very interesting mechanism to do the 1031 exchange. So I would recommend everybody to attend. The speaker is very spontaneous and also very educational too.
What day?
That will be next Wednesday, July the 30th.
30th
1 o'clock.
for
1
that.
o'clock, lunch
Okay.
and learn. Hmm? What's that, Catherine? Catherine,
I wanted to hear the date and what date it was going to be on.
on the 30th, July the
Okay.
30th, that's next Wednesday,
Okay.
from 9 days from today, okay? And then there will be no training this Friday because we have the annual award ceremony for the company, which is going to be held at Array 36 from 12 to 3. I'm looking forward to that event. This is one of the highlights of the for every year's award ceremonies. And that there will be by invitation only. And congratulations to those who qualify for this year. We have about 20 of the agents who are qualified for this year. So congratulations on them. Okay, and then the last reminder for those who have successfully attended the CLE class, be sure to send a copy of the certificate that was issued by the Josh Best to Michelle. Michelle is responsible for collecting those certificates, and then when she receives the certificate, she can certify you as the official core banker commercial agent, and then you will be able to access to all the resources that are in the commercial arena. Okay, so that will be very beneficial to you if you want to be a commercial real estate agent. Okay, with that, any questions so far? Okay, if not, then I would like to ask Michelle to brief us on the sales and the listings for last week. Michelle, go ahead.
Hi, good morning, everybody. We had a fantastic week and everybody's working hard. So we'll get right to it. So we have our new escrows. We have Apple Valley and Chow closed a lease in Glendora, Cabello. I'm sorry, the street names I'm probably slaughtering. With Camilla, it's 785,000 residential. Buddy, in Lakewood on Longsworth for 955. Congratulations, Buddy. Congratulations, Camilla, on your new escrows. Trisha Nguyen has a new residential escrow for 878,000 on Ardilla Avenue in Baldwin Park. Alden Lai has income property opened escrow on Evelyn Avenue in Rosemead at 1. Mandy Zhang income property, Nicholson Avenue, Monterey Park for 3.450. Lot in Crestline escrow was opened by Karina Pang for land for 26,000. In Alhambra, 840,000. Condominium double-ended by Nina Shu. Monterey Park. Listing agent escrow Nina and Tatiana. 168 Monterey, number 403 in Alhambra. Nina Shu double-ended at 910,000. Christopher Shu in La Puente on Valley View, and the value of that is 392,000. He gets commission. It's almost like a house, it's very profitable. 419 Chandler, number 421 Monterey Park. Nina listing agents, and that went into escrow. The new listings for this week are Chandler Avenue, 413 at 718 in Monterey Park, Nina and Tatiana. 189 Nicholson Avenue, Monterey Park. 5 condominiums on both of those listed by Shumay and Harrison. Congratulations on the new listings. And closed escrows for the week. We have 9537 South Vermont Avenue in Hancock, 2.250. Congratulations on that commercial sale, Daniel and Franco. Very good. Apple Valley lease closed with Sharon Chow at $24,000. 168 Monterey 405 in Alhambra. Nina Shu closed at $738,900. 168 South Monterey, number 408. Nina Shu closed at $905,800. 168 South Monterey, number 206. Nina Shu double-ended this at $840. 419 North Chandler, number 506. Nina Shu double-ended at $718. And Baldwin Park on Salisbury. Juan V closed a residential at $610,000. So that's a really good week. Thank you all for your efforts and your hard work, and congratulations to all of you who had transactions last week. I have a couple of announcements that agents gave me. We have a price reduction from $559 to $540 for Lucy Clark. It's on 684 East Lee Place in Azusa. Brand new listing that's going to hit the market, I think today or tomorrow, from Lily Yun, 193 West Las Tunas Drive in San Gabriel, mixed use building, 1.628. It's a total lot size 5727. The building size is 7,500 square feet, 4 retail units downstairs, and 7 individual office suites upstairs. So if you have any questions on this listing that is hitting the market today, go ahead and talk to Lily Yun about it. So thank you all for your efforts.
Okay, very good. Thank you, Michelle. As you said, that we have more activity in the company, and the agents are very motivated now. So this is a really good time to do some business. And if you have some anybody who has a reduction in price or a new listing that we have not mentioned, it's time to speak up now. Anybody else? Lucy is not in the audience, right? Lucy should be telling us about her reduction in price. Oh, Lucy, are you there? Oh, I see a picture there, but I guess you're not responding audioly. Okay, but anyway, all right. If there's anything that you want to ask Lucy, you can also always contact her directly. Okay. Any other questions? If no other questions, I would like to do my little presentation today, and it is about of all things, is regarding the wildfire issues in the car forms. As John told you, there's a lot of after the wildfire in January, there's a lot of changes in the car forms regarding the wildfire issues. And there's a lot of changes, and everybody should be aware of that, because when you're doing the getting the insurance coverage, they would like to know what those wildfire issues are, and when you're talking to your tenants, they would like to know what area, whether there's a high risk of fire or very high risk of fire in that location. So it's very important that you know all the wildfire issues in the car forms, so that you can present them to them accordingly. So I will give you a little brief introduction to the legality of those issues in the car form, and I'm sure that John will do all the technical things and his lunch and learn this coming Wednesday. But I will do my shares of telling you what is legally required in the car form regarding the wildfire issues. Okay, all right. So let's. There are 6 areas where the wildfire issues are mentioned in the car forms. The first one is the fire disaster advisory, which is WFDA. The second one is the fire hardening and defensible space, which is what you're very familiar with as HTGR. This form has been with us for a long time, and most of them, most of you are familiar with that. And the third one is two places that were mentioned in the residential purchase agreement. First place were mentioned was in the paragraph 3Q1, which it mentions about the natural hazard disclosure report, which is NHD, and you know that this report is mandatory and it has a special requirement. If you don't give it that to the parties, the other party has the decision, 5 days decision right. And the second place that they mention about the wildfire issue is the paragraph 3Q2 of the RPA, which mentioned about the optional fortress of wildfire the disclosure report. This is a new form. It's only optional. It's not required. But if you want it, it will cost you about $140 to get it. There's fourth one place where the wildfire issues are mentioned is in the fire investigation advisory BIA form, paragraph 3H. And the sixth place is the statewide buyer and seller advisory, the CAR form SBSA, the paragraph D4. Now, the first one that we mentioned, the WFDA, is only for informational only. It is advisory. That means that it's just to advise the seller and buyer about the wildfire issues related to their properties. And it's not a mandatory thing, but it's a good thing to give it to your clients, because they will explain a lot about the wildfire issues related to the property, and they will give you a clear disclosure of the material facts that will affect the sale and the price of the property as well. And the second one is the fire hardening and defensible space disclosure, FHDS. It has been with us for many years now, and it has been modified many times. And this year too, they have substantial changes in the FHDS. I'm sure that John Wax would tell you more about it in this Wednesday's Lunch and Learn. The paragraph 2 address the fire hardening disclosure, and it is a mandatory requirement. And it is required for the property that is located in the high or very high fire hazard zone. And if the property was built before January 1st, 2010, and or if the TDS is required. Otherwise, it is optional for other situations. In other words, if it's only in a moderate or mild hazardous area, and you don't have to, it's not required, it's only optional. And then the paragraph 3 to address the defensible space requirement. Now, this is a required disclosure if the property is located in a high or very high fire hazard zone, and regardless when the improvement was built. So in the first one for the fire hardening disclosure, you only have to disclose if the building is more than 15 years old. But if for this one, it doesn't matter how old the building is. You have to disclose it, and it's a mandatory disclosure. And also, if TDS is required, it's also a mandatory disclosure. Otherwise, it will be optional for other situations. Now, the paragraph 3QA of the RPA tells you about the it requires a disclosure of whether the property is located in a very high or very high hazard zone. and also whether it's a responsibility of the state for the fire responsibility, the NHD is a required report. You have to have the NHD, and it has to be presented to the buyer, and then also carry a 5 days rescission period. In other words, if after the, in other words, and the buyer has 5 days to rescind the RPA if the NHD is not delivered to the buyer, and even though it's delivered to the buyer, the buyer has within 5 days to rescind the RPAs. So the earlier do you disclose the NHD to the buyer, the better. So most of the time, you disclose, you call John Wax and then prepare the NHD and send it to the buyer as soon as possible. And because even though you have to report sent to the buyer, then you don't have to pay for that until the escrow close. And so it's better for you to deliver the NHD report to the buyer as soon as possible. That's what John Wax recommended as well, because this report, if you have not delivered to the buyer, it will carry a 5 days rescission period, which you don't want that to happen at all, because naturally you want the escrow to close without any glitches. And then the paragraph 3Q2, it has a mention of the fortress fire, wildfire disclosure report, which is optional for all the properties, and it's not mandatory. As I said, it's for informational only. The purpose of the report is to provide supplemental fire risk information, insurance guidance, and defensible space recommendations. And it's optional for buyers, seller, or agents for risk assessments and disclosure defense. Typically, it will cost about $140. So that's why both John and I recommend that you don't routinely order this report, because it's not mandatory. So far it's not mandatory yet. I don't know whether it will be down the road, but now it's not mandatory. So only when the insurance company requires it or the lender requires it, then you order the fortress fire wildfire disclosure report, and it's right now it's for informational only. And then the place where you find the wildfire issue is in the Buyer Investigation Advisory, which is BIA. Now this is if you use it as a standalone document, it's always optional, but right now it's bundled with all the real estate purchase agreement in the SIP form. So once you have the RPA, this is automatically bundled, whether you request it or not. But it's not a mandatory requirement. Okay. And the last place that you find out is the statewide buyer and seller advisory, which is SBSA. Now this is SBSA is always optional, but a lot of brokerage requires the use of this this for all the residential transactions. As you know that our company also require that for residential units that's 4 or less. Okay, so this is, although it's not optional, but it's recommended. So what's the impact of providing or not providing these forms or reports in a real estate transaction? Now for WFDA, it's for informational only and it's optional, so it really doesn't matter, but it's a very good information that will tell your clients about their property, whether they're in the fire zone, and what do you need to do when they are in the in a high or very high fire zone. So it's a disclosure for information only, but it's a very good informational documents that you should give it to your clients. And then FHDS, well, this is very important document. We've been using it for many years already. The paragraph 2 creates a representation from the seller that contains the material facts, and it can be a source of a liability if you don't disclose those facts, if the facts are materials. So, and also the report, the NHD report is mandatory and is required. And if it's not delivered to the buyer has the 5 days rescission right. And or if they are amended, it also carries the 5-day rescission right as well. So the sooner you give the NHD report to the buyer, the better. Now, and then on the HTS paragraph 3, it get into the information of the defensible space and how to comply with the legal fire prevention requirements, and then also give the buyer the option to rectify the deficiency or the problems later on down the road. But you have to disclose to the buyer that hey, it is their responsibility after the close of escrow, so they won't have any surprises once the escrow is closed. Okay, so that is very important because it is a material fact. Okay, and then we have the disclosure, the national hazard NHD report, which I mentioned already. That is a mandatory requirement. You have to disclose to the buyer and as soon as possible, and it carries a 5 days of rescission right. And then you have the Fortress wildfire disclosure report, which is contained in the RPA 3Q2. This is for informational only. As I said, usually you don't order the report unless it's required by the insurance company or the lender for further information. Now, if you have obtained it and then you disclose it to the buyer, you are required to give it to the buyer and responsible for any material facts. Okay, and lastly, or not lastly, but another one is a BIA, is bias investigatory report. Is advisory, is for informational only, and directs the buyers to the importance of investigating further. And then the SBSA, which is also informational only, directs buyers to the importance of investigating further. In other words, you advise the buyer to do their own investigation, so that you don't take the full responsibility to what is not contained in the report or what is contained in the report. But anyway, this is the advisory only, and it's for informational only. Okay, and so this is just a brief oversight of the legal issues in the wildfire in the SIP forms, and I'm sure that John Wax will dive into more details on Wednesday, and maybe this is a good time to go and look at those areas that I mentioned today. And then you have any question, you ask John Wax on Wednesday, so you get the best out of the lunch and learn on Wednesday. That is my advice. Okay, and then I'll stop here. Any question regarding today's presentation? We are doing very good in time. Actually, we're going to be ahead of our schedule. Any questions? Catherine, you have any questions?
No, not at this moment.
Okay. Lucy, you have any questions? Are you with us, Lucy?
new listing, should I launch now or later?
Yeah, you can do it now. We have time for you.
Okay.
Go ahead.
My client already signed. This is a single family style PUD. It's very rare in this prime location, Pasadena. 210 below, close to Old Town Pasadena, PCC Cowtown. It's a 3-bedroom, 2.5 bath, 1,781 square footage. Built 2006, so still new, and the very reasonable price is only 985,000, and the HOA fee is barely low, is $125 per month.
Hello.
Wow,
It's
that's
just
very
like a
cheap.
single, yeah, just like a
Congratulations.
single family home.
Wow, that's very cheap.
Yeah. I hope get the sale as soon as possible. I will put the market tomorrow morning. I'm still working on the paperwork, even client signed.
Okay.
All right. I thank for everybody help me. And all the other 2 properties or price reduction. Another one's a townhouse style in Azusa, 4-bedroom, 2.5 bath, price reduced to only 540,000. It's everybody can afford for that starting homes. I hope everything, as everything is new there, new ACs, new roofs, and you name it, everything's updated, brand new. So the seller made a lot of improvements, so he reduced the price. So hope everybody can help me sell. And the third one is a commercial property in Ontario, used to be a Bank America. The price was bought 3.3 million. Now, after 2 years, the seller wants to retire. He don't want to do anymore. So he sell the same price, 3.3 million, even bought 2 years ago. And the average price per built home and is over 350. This only 227 per square footage. It's really a good price for investor to do. You can get a Starbucks drive-through, do whatever you want, food court. That will make lots of money.
So for the price $2.27 per square foot, what is the cap rate? You know?
Oh, yeah. I already told you 270 per square foot for build for the square footage, but however, used to be a Bank American, they paid a really good price, so that's why he got 6%. Now Bank American move out, they downsize. So the seller is not like a business. They are just collect the rent for retirement. Now there's no tenants there. That's why he sells the same price to the again.
But assuming that he can rent
I
it
assume
out
it's 6%. He got.
Okay, six cap right now.
Yeah, No,
That's
if
good. That's good.
it's the
That's
same, if
reasonable.
the same the Bank American, he bought for. He got 6% return. He's happy, and this Bank American downsize, get his property close the location. That's why they're vacant now.
I see. Okay.
If you can get out, it's over. It's
Now, how big?
better than Bank American.
Yeah, how big it is now? How big it is?
Huh?
How big is it?
It's a
The building.
14,530 square footage, and the lot is 20,080. I'm sorry, 20,080 for lot. But this is on the famous shopping center. You know who owns BlackRock? BlackRock. The biggest mutual fund company own this property. Must be best location.
Is
We are
it
just
next to the mall?
It's a mall inside the mall, so you have a lot of traffic.
Oh, good. Okay.
A lot of traffic.
Interesting. Yeah, maybe you should give us the brochure, and then I can e-blast it to the other people.
Okay, thank you, boss. I will do that.
Yeah, that's
Thank you,
interesting
boss.
listing.
All right, thank you.
All right. Any question for Lucy?
Good job.
Yeah, good job. Very good.
Thank you.
I have a comment for you, Peter.
Okay, Camelia.
And for the agents, just to let them know, because I'm in a transaction right now and I received an NHD report and the disclosures from the seller, and they never mentioned that the gold line or whatever the metro extension is going right behind the property. And it's within 1 mile. So anyway, I just thought I'd let agents know that they should also be doing their due diligence about what's around that area.
Yeah, 1 mile is 1 mile from the metro link,
Less than 1 mile.
less than 1 mile. Okay.
Yeah, that's not something that's in an NHD report.
Yeah, it's
Robert.
not. Yeah, it's,
That's not in the NHD report.
that's
It's
not natural
man-made.
hazardous. It's a man-made. Yeah.
But where would that be?
The county, the city, you know, you'd have to check with the,
Yeah.
No. Where would a buyer know about this unless the seller or the NHD report told them?
No, the buyer has the duty to
Yeah.
look at their own environment and verify themselves. You cannot
you-
provide everything to them.
But usually NHD reports report train tracks.
No, I don't think so.
Okay.
John?
It's in the transfer disclosure statement. You have to disclose whether it's near an airport,
visual
Yeah.
inspection.
freeway, or train tracks. NHD. I mean, TDS.
TDS. Yeah.
Okay.
TDS, yeah. Okay.
Airports, yes, but not train tracks.
Yeah.
No, train tracks are in there.
Just saying.
When
In the
when I lived in Temple City, I could hear the train, and I was above Las Tunas. I could hear the train down there on Mission.
Uh-huh.
And when I sold my house, I had to disclose because the freight train goes by at about 3 a.m, and it would sound the horn on San Gabriel Boulevard, on Walnut Grove, and all those other streets, and you could still hear it. So I had to disclose that just to stay from getting lawsuits against me.
Hmm. Mhm.
Yep. I know. You have to be aware of everything.
Now
And
they-
disclose.
Yeah, when in doubt, disclose, right?
That's right.
Exactly.
Okay,
Disclose.
all right. Any more questions? Any more discussions? Anything that you want to share with us?
But I will just say one other thing. Order at time of listing or bring it with you to
Yeah.
your listing appointment.
Yes, yes.
Because you get a preliminary title, why not get the NHD? Snap NHD with you. They ask you questions. You can look at it and answer those questions instead of saying, well, wait, I'll order the NHD and I'll let you know.
Yeah. And
I
the
have a question
NHD
for John. This
Yes.
is Rebecca.
Yes.
I'm looking for land right now for a client,
Okay.
but with the parcel that he's interested in, the lady disclosed, the agent, that there was a fire there. There's nothing there anymore. She
Okay.
ended up sending me some kind of form. I don't know if it was like a natural hazard disclosure too, a while back, that it happened in, Jesus, I think she said in
Jesus?
about 6-7 years ago. I'm saying, if we go in and purchase that, make an offer, do we get an NHD for our own, for the buyers, or do?
No. Only the seller provides it, but I'll tell you what you do.
Okay,
Go to my website, snapnhd.com,
okay,
and register. Click me as your rep,
okay,
and then put your information in the screen, the street address and zip code.
okay,
Start. It will tell you if it's in the zone.
okay.
You'll know currently what's going on with that property. We can't.
Yeah, it's in between two houses in the lot. There's nothing on there.
Okay.
But
Wouldn't have to fill out an FHDS. You don't have to fill out the FHD car form because even if it's in a high, TDS is not required for vacant land.
okay, okay, I get
Hey,
it.
Peter,
Yes,
Okay, thank you, John.
you're welcome
Hello.
anytime. I'm here for you.
I want to
Okay.
make a comment about
David, yeah, go ahead.
disclosures. One of the things that will help, I do this as a broker representing either a seller or a buyer, but I always look at a property from the point of view, what would happen if I decided to buy the property myself as an investor? Once you ask the question, is this property suitable for me to buy the property as an investor? Do I need to know, as an buyer investor, all the natural hazard disclosures surrounding this property? Not only does it protect you as a broker, but it gives you a really better attitude to protecting your clients from mistakes. The other thing that is not discussed too often, but real estate agents are subject to lawsuits.
Yes.
And if we get sued by a buyer for failing to disclose, the thing is that yes, Coldwell Banker, Coldwell Banker, commercial Coldwell Banker, High-10 Partners has errors and omissions insurance, but we as realtors have to put up a there's a technical
Deductible.
Deductible. Oh,
deductible. The deductible, from my understanding, is $20,000.
Yes, that's right.
Why don't we take the attitude, instead of putting up $20,000 as a deductible if we get sued, why don't we just do the job correctly? Why don't we call John Wax, get the natural hazard disclosure report, say, John, do we have any issues with this property, even though it doesn't seem to be close to any issues, you know? But remember, Southern California is the home of earthquakes. And even though we may not be in an earthquake zone, we may be 1 mile, 2 miles, 3 miles away from an earthquake zone. And the property will be impacted if it's that close. Now, look at all the negligence of natural hazard disclosures that occurred in Central Texas. They had warning systems, but people in Texas failed to give the warning systems on time. They waited 2, 3, 4 hours before they disclosed that there was a major probability of flash floods. I think that is total incompetence. The other thing is 3 or 4 years ago, there was a shooter that went into an elementary school. It was surrounded by police, but they didn't have the courage, the guts to penetrate and try to locate the killer. It took them 1 hour to finally shoot him down. You see, governmental agencies have a lot of, I don't know what you want to call it, but a failure to act promptly. The big fire that occurred in Pacific Palisades, the big fire that occurred in Altadena, California, there's a lot of what I would call inertia. Now, is a government official guilty of inertia, guilty of failing to respond quickly, properly? Look at all these 5,000 families that lost homes. They lost all their contents. I think it is outrageous.
It's called incompetence.
Incompetence. I would like to, by the way, I'm going to just commend one of our agents for being really sharp. I'm going to commend Lucy Clark for being very sharp and disclosing in our meeting things that she's working on. I think that's very appropriate. Thank you, Lucy.
Thank you, David, for your comments. Okay, any other questions?
just come to the training.
Yeah, Wednesday at 1 o'clock, and you'll have a little light lunch too. So
Yep,
yeah, be there in the training room. That's what I can say.
exactly. Knowledge is power, guys.
Yeah, sure. Okay, anything else? If not, I would like to adjourn the meeting. Thank you for attending the meeting, and I'll see you next week. Bye-bye.
Thank you,
I'll
Peter.
see you on Wednesday.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Thank you,
Bye-bye.
Peter.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye-bye, everybody. Bye-bye.